Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a drink.
All right, and Michaela is singing again, so that means we are back in the lobby bar for the week of December the 23rd, 2024. Brian and Michaela here with you. And Michaela, we have made it. It is the week of Christmas. Well, I don't know if we made it. I guess we still have a couple of days left in the bin to get through, but Christmas is upon us. How are you doing? Did you make it? Did you survive? Do you have enough Baileys left to last us one more week?
I do not have enough Baileys.
No,
I'll never have enough
there's not
Baileys.
enough Baileys, is the answer.
I will never have enough Baileys. Baileys is my jam. I'll tell you what. I have had enough of sweet drinks for a little while. I mean,
Okay.
I'm glad we did Baileys for this month. We're gonna have to figure something else out with a little bit slightly different profile for January because it turns out it's really hard to do like any sort of savory, like or like more like alcohol forward drinks. That I mean, everything tastes amazing, but now I've been basically drinking syrup for 4 weeks
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. That's true. We might throw ourselves a little bit of slack next week and skip out on the Baileys, after Christmas. But we do have Baileys here one more week going on, and this just so happens to be, I don't know if it's like a viral thing. Like I'm not hip with like the TikTokers and stuff like that. You are, Michaela. Maybe you could tell me. But I was looking for some Bailey stuff today, and this one thing came up in like the first like 50 search results, and it all looked pretty new. So I think that this must be like a new thing. It certainly couldn't be that new, but maybe people are just talking about it right now. It is called a milk and cookie shot, which sounds pretty good for Christmas night. It sounds like a good thing for the lobby bar. I don't know. It sounds like a good thing to have in your life. So check this out, Michaela. Basically, you get yourself like a roll of like that, like the Toll House like cookie dough or whatever kind of like
okay,
cookie dough you want, right? Pillsbury, whatever you want to do. You take
sure,
that. And you
okay,
and you cut it into little bits, and then you put it into like a mini muffin tin kind of
okay,
thing. You like press it down
okay.
into it, right? You bake them off, and it turns into little cookie shot glass cups, right? So what you do then is you take them out of there, you brush a little bit of butter on them, and then you set them in the refrigerator so they get nice and cold and will hold up when you fill those little cookie shot glasses with Baileys. What do you
Okay.
think about that? What do you think about that?
Um, I think I will let you know a little bit later tonight. I'm going to the grocery store right now. In fact, we should just stop recording. I'm gonna go.
All right, we'll see you
I'm gonna
next
go
week on the
get.
lobby bar. Oh,
Yeah, I'm just gonna go, and I'm gonna be like so drunk and fat next week after having 87 of these. I wonder how many it makes.
have you
Oh
heard of this? It
gosh,
makes 12, I
no,
think, is was the
never,
thing, but I guess it's just
never.
however much cookies you get. You
No,
never heard of it? Okay.
apparently, the China algorithm, the Russian algorithm, whoever owns TikTok, uh, does not love me because if they did, they would have let me see this phenomenon weeks and weeks ago, which is strange because I'm all over TikTok. So interesting, interesting. I see you algorithm. I see you that you don't love me. All I'm getting are things for like healthy soups. What is it trying to
No.
tell me? This sounds. I mean, you don't like shots, but this could not. This could be. This could be good, right?
Yeah.
Like you might be persuaded to try this.
This
It's
is
like
just
a
like the
treat,
inverse of like dunking a cookie into some Baileys, which would be
right?
easier on a side note. But this is more fun. So go ahead and make those up with the kid, right? You make up some little cookie shot glasses and then set a bottle of Baileys and little cookies out for Santa. A little carrot for Rudolph and stuff like that out there. But you're good for Christmas Eve then with a milk and cookie shot. So let us know if you've ever heard of this out there. If I'm losing my mind, maybe I stepped in the Wayback Machine and found something, from a former time. I don't know for sure, but that's it for Bailey's. Hopefully, I think our blood sugar can maintain a normal level and
Right.
get back to normal. So, Michaela, we are recording this early, right?
Sure.
It's not peek behind the curtain. It is not December 23rd. We're recording this right now because I'm getting ready to travel. It's Christmas, so we thought we would go ahead and record it a little bit early. So that was going to give us a little bit of opportunity to talk about some drinks that we like to do come like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, stuff like that. Now, normally I've talked about on the podcast before, I like to drink a Chimay Blue, which is a Belgian dark strong ale. It was originally brewed by the monks to be like a Christmas beer, and then it became so popular they started brewing it year round. But I have one of those every Christmas Eve. That's kind of my own tradition. But I found a new cocktail that just might be my new tradition come Christmas Eve or Christmas Day because this sounds delicious. I was
Ooh.
wanting something whiskey forward for sure after doing all this Bailey's this month, Michaela. And I found
Hmm.
this recipe. It is called the Cinnamon Apple Manhattan, which sounds great off the bat here. And it's coming from a website, which is called scotchwhiskey.com. Love that. So listen to this, Michaela and listeners out there. Maybe you can take your Manhattan this way, and I might just start taking all of mine this way. So your ingredients here into a shaker tin goes 50 milliliters of whiskey. It doesn't specify if it's like a Scotch or smoky or peaty or anything like that. So whatever you want, dealer's choice. 50 mils of that. 25 mils of Applejack or apple brandy, like an American apple brandy. If you didn't have that or didn't want to go get it, you could probably just use regular brandy or cognac. So 25 mils of that. And then 15
Mm.
mils of cinnamon infused sweet vermouth, which sounds like the most delicious thing on the planet. So to make that, you take a bottle of sweet vermouth, you put in 10 cinnamon sticks, and you let it sit for 2 to 3 days. Strain it out, bottle it, and then use it just like you would any other vermouth for anything. That sounds ridiculous. It's going to be good in a Negroni, and it's definitely going to be good in this. Go ahead and shake it with some ice, strain it into like a martini or coupe glass. You can put a couple of dashes of bitters in there if you want. It has a garnish with a little apple peel in there. That's pretty. That looks hard to do though, so I'm probably going to go with an orange for mine. But cinnamon, apple, Manhattan. Michaela, we are coming to an end on your year of whiskeys. Does this sound like a good one to end the year on?
Yeah, I'm really glad that we're recording this early so that by actual Christmas Eve, I will have that cinnamon infused sweet vermouth ready to go because that sounds delicious. Much different than what my like traditional uh, uh,
True, true.
drink is that I have every Christmas Eve. I don't. I love my dad. I love my dad. If you're listening, I love you. But this drink is horrible. But I do it every Christmas Eve
Wow.
because it reminds me of my dad. And we so
Nothing could be
this
more Christmassy than doing something horrible every year
I
just
mean it's
because
not.
it's
Look,
tradition.
look, it's just it just yes, it's not my favorite because it has egg white in it and I don't know. You would
Mm,
think it would be really it's extra nutmeggy.
like an angel
Um
food cake.
Yeah, kind of. So it's we do. My grandpa made this recipe, my grandpa Joe, and it's called a Tom and Jerry holiday. Like he called them Tom and Jerry's. If you look on the internet, there is a much easier way to make this. I promise you. But basically, you use like any like dark Jamaican rum, Bermuda rum, brandy, cognac, and you create this batter with like egg yolks and whites, and you set them aside. You whip the whites with some cream of tartar. You in another bowl, you beat the yolks with 2 pounds of sugar. You mix it all together. It's a very grown up old man kind of drink. So I remember hating
Okay.
this as a kid. It has grown on me. But I tell you what, it's a lot of work on Christmas Eve. I definitely think I'm
Yeah.
going to be going your cinnamon apple martini way instead this year. So everybody, while you're at it, people, go ahead and look at the scotchwhiskey.com Christmas cocktail recipes. There's like 37 that look
Yeah,
amazing
there's a bunch on there.
on this
Yeah, look
site.
good. Yeah.
There's
Hmm.
so many. So yeah, good luck with that. Don't maybe don't do a Tom and Jerry. I don't know.
Yeah, don't do a Tom and Jerry. That's really the the moral of the
My
story.
poor dad's gonna be
Make a milk
like,
and cookie
what?
shot. Drink a
Yeah.
cinnamon apple Manhattan, or just crack open a beer, which is what I normally do, like I said. Or Michaela, I'm sure that you're cracking into a bottle or two of wine. That's nice and easy. Come
Mm,
Christmas Eve, Christmas
100%.
Day. Michaela, we're recording this early, as I mentioned, so we don't have any box office news for anyone, except we'll go ahead out on a limb and say Mufasa won the weekend. So there you go. With that, coming out into the movie theater this week, I know a lot of people on Christmas Day will go do like a movie, like a family movie kind of a thing. You got a couple of new releases coming out everyone's way. We've got A Complete Unknown, which is the Timothy Chalamet, Bob Dylan biopic kind of a thing that you got going on there. You also have
Mm.
Nosferatu there, which is a new interpretation telling of Nosferatu, right? The vampire story from way back, like 100 years old, like over 100 years old. The original Nosferatu, probably not the best for Christmas Day viewing, I have to say. Nosferatu, I don't know about that. A
Eh.
Complete Unknown could be if you're a family of music lovers. That could be good to go out and see. It is kind of long. I don't know, time permitting, how that's going to work for everyone. But either of these strike your fancy for Christmas Day or otherwise, Michaela?
Not for Christmas Day, no, because I have a child that I'm going to have to entertain, and I guarantee he's too young for
Mm,
Nosferatu, and he's probably too young and not going to be entertained by the life and times of Bob Dylan. Although, gosh, it looks so good. But both of these are real high on my list to see in general. So definitely before they leave the theater, I will be taking a sneak peek and looking at those, just not on Christmas Day.
Okay, I was going to say maybe you could just listen to Bob Dylan, but then that's going to make your kiddo want to go see Bob Dylan even more, and that's not going to work out because it is rated R, 2 hours and 21 minutes, so probably not the best for him. Michaela, not a lot of movies, box office stuff to talk about this week, so let's just talk here before we wrap up the lobby bar real quick. Do you have any like Christmas Eve or Christmas Day like movie things that you watch or TV things that you watch like every year? Are there any like traditions? Like some people like will do like Christmas Eve and they'll like open like one present like Christmas Eve or do like the family
Mm-hmm.
presents Christmas Eve, so Santa has plenty of room to get his stuff out the next day. Do you like do that and put on Die Hard or do you get up Christmas morning and watch It's a Wonderful Life or do you now watch Miracle on 34th Street because that's what we're going to be talking about on the podcast this week and that is the new classic in the Michaela's household for sure. What do you do? Get up to anything?
I watch usually Christmas Eve. We'll do a movie marathon and we'll do Scrooged because that's my favorite Christmas movie. And then we'll
Okay.
do Ian Carroll's version of um, Scrooge. What is it? A Christmas Carol.
A
That's
Christmas
what it's
Carol.
called.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
now so they're called so many things. So sorry, but it's the Ian Carroll version that we actually covered a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
it is so we'll do those back to back, and then we always do milk and cookies for Santa. When I was a kid, we did the thing where we would pick a gift, and it was usually a
Mm-hmm.
gift that we could take to bed with us. So it was like a book or like a magazine or like a stuffed animal or something. My
Hmm.
parents always kind of figured that out ahead of time.
Cinnamon
So
Apple
I
Manhattan.
and yeah, maybe that's what I'm gonna do for my son. I'm gonna be like, dude, this is a Nerf gun full of cinnamon apple Manhattan bullets. Enjoy. Yeah, it's a
There,
good idea.
there you go. No, that sounds great. That sounds great. I don't have any particular like traditions in terms of that, really. I do have my movies that I watch every year. It's a Wonderful Life, Elf, Miracle on 34th Street, which I had just mentioned. Stuff like that I do watch every year, but I am way ahead of the game, Michaela. I have already watched everything this year that I normally watch in the year. Some things I've even watched a couple of times. I'm looking at you, Charlie Brown Christmas. So, yeah, I don't really have much in the way of that. And it's a lot of like family coming in and out. I always go spend it at my in-laws. So my wife has a couple of brothers and their families are kind of in and out all day. So not really time to sit down and watch a movie or anything, per se from that stance.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to have those traditions for sure. And now the new tradition includes having a cinnamon apple Manhattan on the day of Christmas. So I don't know, Michaela. I think that's going to wrap it up here for this lobby bar.
Yep.
Truncated a little bit because of the holiday there, but we'll be back for one more kind of lobby bar before the end of the year as we make our way to 2025. So with that, let's go ahead and wrap this one up just like a present, and we'll talk to everyone next week in the lobby bar.